My lovely bride and I have been married for 40 years. Thank you. But let me tell you something. The reason we've been married for 40 years is because I go away. I often tell her I'm the perfect husband. I go on the road, pick up a check, come home, drop it off, leave again. But COVID hit, and now we're together 24/7, and we had a little adjusting to do. I learned a lot about Gail that I didn't know. You would think after 40 years of marriage, I'd know everything there is to know about that woman. But I learned a lot. I learned that she's addicted to Bed Bath & Beyond. And I think they ought to call it Bed Bath & Beyond Your Budget. She just buys crap. One day she came in and she goes, we need to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I said, for what? And she goes, I need to get clothes hangers. I said, don't we get them free from the cleaners? She goes, no, I need the special kind, and you ladies will know what I'm talking about. She said, I need the kind with the velvet on them. I said, for what? She goes, so it keeps my dress from falling off. I go, that's been our problem for 40 years. My other favorite was, she goes, we need to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I go, now for what? And she goes, she said, I need to get guest towels. I go, for what? She goes, so when people stay with us, Bill, they have towels they can use. I said, well, here's a thought. We have a washer and dryer. And those folks don't live with us, so they don't know that our regular towels ain't our guest towels. And if they bitch about it, screw them, they can go stay at the Hilton. I said, you're just buying crap. She goes, well, you buy crap at Bass Pro Shop. I said, no, ma'am. I buy essential items at Bass Pro Shop. She goes, like what? And I said, like, I need a cooler that knows whether to keep my beer cold or my coffee hot. That's essential. She goes, you're an idiot. I go, I'll be an idiot with a cold beer. That's what I'll be. But it's just weird to see how she was acting during COVID. And I swear, if I didn't know better, I think she was pregnant. Because she was nesting, I swear. I would get a cup of coffee, take 2 sips of it, set it down on a stool, and walk 3 steps away, and she goes, are you done with that? Well, there's 3/4 of it left. There's still steam coming off it, so I'm going to go, no, Alex? She goes, well, you know where to put it when it's done. I go, right, we throw it out in the street. She goes, no, you put it in the dishwasher and put it in the dishwasher right. I go, what do you mean right? She goes, I didn't know this, fellas. Did you know this? That there is a wrong way and a right way to load a dishwasher. See? I didn't know that. One night we had dinner, and we finished dinner, and I took my plate and my silverware, and I walked to the dishwasher, put them in there, shut the dishwasher. Here comes Gail right behind me. Opens up, starts rearranging. I said, what are you doing? She goes, you put them in there wrong. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, Bill, you can't put bowl, plate, cup, bowl, plate, cup, bowl, plate. I go, why not? She goes, they won't get clean. I said, have you ever actually been inside a dishwasher? Here's something else I didn't know, gang. Did you know that women can have a bad day and blame the whole day on their hair? I didn't know that. One day during COVID, Gail was in a pissy mood. God, she was in a pissy mood. And I said, what's wrong with you, honey? And she goes, oh, the girl that cut my hair did it all wrong. I can't get it right, and it just ruined the whole damn day. I was like, wow. Fella couldn't get away with that. Fella couldn't have a bad wiener day. What? We do. Some days it looks good, doesn't it, boys? That's right. You want to slap a leash on it and walk it around the block. Then other days, maybe it was cold. You slept on it wrong. Man, couldn't blame a whole damn day on it, though. It's like, Jimmy, what's wrong with you? I'm having a bad wiener day. What happened? I took a shower, fell asleep on the couch. It was still wet. I can't do nothing with it. I'm going to guarantee you right now there's somebody in this theater going, that is a bored human being right there. This is another thing I learned. My lovely wife, she has to say things out loud. That's how she gets them straight in her head. Perfectly fine if you know that's going down. But we'll be in the car, and I'm driving, and this is what I'll hear. Okay, I need to go to the cleaners. I need to make a hair appointment. I need to make sure I get my nails done. I'm like, what? And she goes, I'm not talking to you. Fine, I keep driving. Then I hear, okay, do we have dog food? Oh, wait, do we need to pick up those tickets? And do we need to make reservations for dinner tomorrow? And I just keep driving. And she goes, are you gonna answer me? Yeah, if I knew who you were talking to. Me or your little imaginary friend down there. Well, This was my other favorite one. The other day she came and she goes, I think you need to get your hearing tested. And I said, what? She goes, see? And I was joking. She goes, no, Bill, I really think you need to get your hearing tested because you don't hear half the stuff I say. And I remember when the day I got married, my granddaddy pulled me aside and he said, son, you want the secret to a long and happy marriage? Pick your battles. He said, if you go to war every time, you're going to lose. And I remember thinking, this is a battle. So I said, all right, I'll go get my hearing tested. So I went to the hearing doctor, gave me the test. He goes, your hearing's fine. I said, thank you very much. Went home. Gail said, how'd it go? I said, he said, my hearing's just fine. She said, well, is it you don't hear half the stuff I say? I said, it's funny you bring that up. Because he said that maybe you shouldn't wait till you're at the other end of the house before you start talking to me. Look at the women, fellas. Look at them. They know it's in their little bullet in their arsenal right there. I swear to God, Gail and I could be sitting in the same room for 3 hours. Not a word is said. I get up and walk to the other end of the house and I hear this. Just come on. Now I got to come back in and go, what? She goes, see, you're hard of hearing. I go, no, dogs couldn't hear what you were saying.
As I mentioned, I've been with my wife for 7 years, married for 4. It's the best. I love it so much. I love her so much. That's the important part, right? Yeah, that's the important part. Just growing together over the years is so wonderful. I think people give marriage a bad name. Sometimes they talk trash about it. But even the little things, like after 7 years with the same person, I now have all these incredibly strong opinions about topics I know nothing about. Because my wife has thoughts. And she shares them with me because communication is the bedrock of a strong relationship. And I love and trust her, so now her opinions are also my opinions. And what a joy to know something without ever having to learn it. Here's an example. Have I ever listened to an entire album by recording artist Fiona Apple from front to back? Someone has. Okay, you're the same person from No earlier. So we know you're against body count, pro Fiona Apple, and as a member of this audience, in favor of moms and dogs. I think I'm starting to create a profile. Have I ever listened to an entire album by recording artist Fiona Apple? Sadly, no. I've never had the pleasure. I apologize to that one woman in the back. But do I deep in my heart believe that Fiona Apple is a genius? Yeah, absolutely, that's something I think. No doubt about it at all. Yeah, why wouldn't I? Here's how far I'll take it. If you don't think Fiona Apple is a genius, I think you're sexist. That's something I believe in my heart. I can't prove that in any way. That's just a trust fall into my wife's brain. It's so great being together a long time with the same person. 7 years, our friends have started to become friends with one another. Our families are merging into this one loving family. And I now have all these enemies I'm still meeting for the first time. Because my wife has people she doesn't care for. They don't disappear just because we got together. Now everywhere I go in the world, I just meet new people to hate, like it's The Legend of Zelda. Showing up at unfamiliar buildings, fighting with people I've never seen before, over reasons I'm learning in the moment. I'll be at a work function with my wife, I'll be like, oh, that couple over there, they seem so sweet. I was talking to them, they seem great. We should have brunch sometime. My wife's like, nuh-uh. In 2007, she told me my haircut was fascinating. And I say, well, I hope her car flips over on the way home. And she says, I love you too, because that's part of what love is, right? Her enemies are my enemies. I mean that sincerely. That was in my wedding vows. I'm not remotely joking about that part. Because I feel like if you're gonna make a vow, make it a vow, right? Revenge, that's a vow. You can enforce it with a sword. Richer, poorer, sickness, health, that's nice, but I'll extend those courtesies to my landlord if we're being honest. I did. I stood in front of my wife on our wedding day and I said, I vow to help you destroy your enemies by means both large and small, over slights including those that are imperceptible to others, even me. And then after I said that, I made hard eye contact with her grandmother, gave it one of these, because I don't decide who my wife's enemies are. She's a grown woman. That's up to her, okay? I just met you, old lady. She's my everything. So protect your neck, Nana. Watch yourself. You get one warning. Thank you. Interesting. Love mothers, hate grandmothers. What a twist. I can't read you, audience, and I like that. My wife is a big reader. She's very smart, which I love and admire about her. I think that's so, I just like really look up to her intelligence and her curiosity. I'm medium smart. I'm not like one of those dumb husbands from commercials. A guy just standing by the side of the highway in the rain on his cell phone like, honey, I locked the keys in the car and the baby's in the car with the keys and the car's rolling down the highway with the baby and the keys. And the wife is like, but honey, we have Geico. And then it's like, Geico for you and your idiot husband. That's not me, I'm medium smart. My wife is very smart though, and the gap is widening by the day. Because every night at bedtime, we read together in bed, side by side for half an hour. And my wife reads a book, whatever book she wants. I'm very progressive that way. And I know what you're thinking, Josh, even a novel, but that could bring her blood to a feminine boil. Yeah, I know, but if my baby wants fiction, my baby gets fiction. That's the kind of man I am. It's 2021. Women can read The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen if they want to. Yeah, they can. So we read in bed for half an hour. My wife reads a book, as I was saying. Not the same book every night. She finishes and then she starts a new one. I don't know why I'm explaining books to you after you all knew what The Corrections by Jonathan Franzen was. If you don't know what books are by this point in the show, we have bigger problems. I wouldn't even know how to explain what books are to a whole group of people just like, a book. It's like a magazine, but bigger and forever. Does that help? She reads a book, and the whole time, I'm just scrolling ceaselessly, aimlessly through Twitter on my phone, which is the not reading of reading now. So every night, my wife gets 30 minutes smarter, more compassionate, more empathetic and worldly. And I just grow 30 minutes furious at things I can't control and often don't understand. Every night before bed, my wife will look at me and say something like, Josh, I just read the most beautiful passage about what it means to live a life of purpose and wonder. And then it's a peck on the cheek, lights out, eyes closed, day over. For her. I'm still rocking and rolling. Just staring at my phone, awake and furious, like, huh, interesting, because I just read that Elon Musk invented a $15 million laser that turns hats into visors. Scissors do that. Why did he invent scissors with a carbon footprint? And then my wife drifts off into a blissful, peaceful slumber while I'm just staring at the ceiling, seething like, does it also turn jeans into jorts or is that a separate laser? I have not slept in 11 years.